Is predicting future possible? Tarot cards and crystal balls don't really work when it comes to performance marketing. But here at We Discover, they thrive on data. And so now I'm wondering how accurate predictions can be when you're using advanced forecasting techniques. Can I come in? From some people in the office, I heard that you work with prediction tools, and basically I'm trying to see if I can help my client to increase their ad spend during the peak season. Last year's data shows a clear link between the ad spend and the conversion spikes, so I would just like to back this up with something.
Yes, I've created a tool for Not on the High Street, which is one of our clients and a great platform, and they're very self-driven. Let me show you the tool they requested, which is this one. Essentially helps them predict a bunch of different metrics like impressions, clicks, costs, purchases, revenue. It leverages Google's ARIMA Plus model, which essentially does all of the data cleaning and calculations for us. You basically input your historical performance and it outputs the predictions for the future.
How long does it take to set it up?
Well, the first time I set it up, it did take a couple of days to figure out how the model worked and what setup made sense. But now, if we needed to replicate it for another account, it would take just a few minutes.
Oh, wow, so quick. I just wondered if you have any specific numbers of how accurate this prediction model is.
Well, I'm running a test as we speak, so if you catch me next week, I can show you. But I can tell you that Not on the High Street are very pleased with its accuracy so far. And they're very nice, so if you want to talk to them about it, you should give them a call.
Hey Dan, thank you very much for jumping on a call with me. I heard you've been using this ARIMA tool Alejandro put together. I'm just wondering, what was the initial discussion that promoted the conversation about using this tool?
Hey Alex, good to meet you. Historically, always made our own predictions anyway. We've had various kind of data points and points of reference that we've used to do that. The ARIMA tool came around as kind of one that we could use for Google specifically as a way to understand exactly how much we should be spending per campaign and also when to push and when to pull, basically. What we found is that the ARIMA tool was surprisingly very accurate, very reactive, which meant that we could use it a lot more than we maybe had anticipated we could. It really picked up on any changes that we made within the account really quickly and kind of adjusted its projections going forwards. We've been able to use those projections to kind of manage expectations internally. So we have a lot of stakeholders. We have the finance team, we have the commercial team, but as a small business marketplace, we have about 5,000 partners as well.
They all need to be convinced.
They all need to be convinced. They all need to, they all have their own wants and they have their own goals. And our goal has always been to maximize everyone's kind of like happiness. What we found is that it's allowed us to make budget decisions which work best for everybody, including the partners and the finance team. And if they're happy, then that makes our job a lot easier.
Are there any other ways this tool was useful for you?
Absolutely, yeah. So one of the slightly older pieces of work that we did with Rediscover was some marginal ROAS analysis. That was built with the intention of saying exactly how much we should spend to maximize our profitability. And we combined the marginal ROAS analysis with the ARIMA forecasting to be able to look at past performance and future performance in one go and basically figure out what is the optimal level of spend in our Google Ads account per campaign based on kind of real-time data almost to make adjustments moving forwards. What you'll probably know is that the more you spend on Google, the
diminishing returns, right?
Yeah, diminishing returns. The more you spend, the less profitability you'll drive beyond a certain threshold. So we needed to find a balance that suits the business in terms of maximizing profitability while also hitting a good level of revenue. Combining these two tools together, it made it so much easier to be able to explain to all the stakeholders exactly what we were trying to do, and essentially tell them the answer isn't always put more money into Google. It's quite often spend a little bit less, put it in the right areas, maximize your profit, and invest that in other areas where you can drive demand rather than just harness demand.
Any specific times you felt that the tool was more useful than other times?
As a very seasonal business, Not Nice Street is very well known in the gifting space. Our key period is obviously Black Friday through Christmas. There's about a 6-week period from the middle of November to Christmas Day where we do a lot of our business. What we found during that period, that 6 weeks in the run up to Christmas, was that using the ARIMA tool gave us clarity, it gave us confidence. And once we'd kind of proven that actually, yes, the results did come true, it gave us a lot more credibility internally to be able to say, this is what we're going to do, and it will all work out in the end, basically. We also found that particularly over kind of periods where there was a lot of competition in the market, everyone was looking for a deal. So we looked at ways that we could incentivize the customer to purchase from us. And particularly over Christmas, Black Friday, everyone is looking for 10, 15, 20% off. They're looking for sale. Our business model means that when we do run a discount, that all comes from our kind of profit margin. So we have to be very careful about when and how much we discount by. What we've historically done is kind of say, okay, we need the promo to do this much revenue and we'll continue spending at the same rate and hope that the promo essentially drives enough to make up the difference. What we were able to do with the ARIMA tool and the Marginal ROAS tool in conjunction was say, if we're going to run this promo, it's likely to be used this much, therefore we can reduce spend by 10, 15, 20%. And the promo does the heavy lifting on the cost front. Google's ROI improves, our efficiency improves, and overall, we get better profitability while still discounting. And that's been an incredibly valuable tool for us to use.